Hey guys, this is William with another video for Play-agricola.com's YouTube channel and twitch.tv/play_agricola. Playing an EIK WM France deck G45 game with ostricheng, Domba 32, and mercator. Looking at my first pile. There's a couple different options here. Lady in Waiting, Cloister Dweller. Those are probably the two standouts, but I mean something like Milking Hand is good, Part-Time Builder is good, Plow Driver is always something to keep in mind. Certainly if I took Lady in Waiting and then got a card like Plow Driver back, I'd have an excellent incentive to go for a 3-room house, renovate up to stone really quickly. Cloister Dweller similarly likes a small house. I don't know. Not sure what I should do here. Lady in Waiting or Cloister Dweller? I think Cloister Dweller is a bit more flexible than Lady in Waiting. Lady in Waiting's power is certainly very good, but I mean, if I say I take Lady in Waiting, I don't get Plow Driver back, and I instead get like Part-Time Builder back, I'll be pretty sad. I think Cloister Dweller fits into more strategies. Like Cloister Dweller, I could do a 6-room house and then 3 fields, or like 4 or 5 rooms, 4 or 5 fields, and then cover 6 spaces with a pasture. I don't know. There's a lot of good stuff here. This is a hard pick. I think we'll take Cloister Dweller. It should be live. Mariska, I see you chatting in chat. Grade Seller is the highest power. Interesting. A Grade Seller is a very good card. It is a very good card. Well, Visionary. I kind of wish I had taken like something like Part-Time Builder is pretty good with Visionary because it gives you a really easy way to make the stables to hold the boar. I think the pick here though is Baker Servant. Baker Servant is really excellent. I just need a way of getting grain reasonably well, and Baker Servant goes a long way. Okay, this pick is kind of interesting. We could do Pasture Planner. Can't pass Baker Servant to Grain Seller. Yeah, that's true. We could do Pasture Planner. We could do Miser. Master Cook is kind of fringe. I think I like Miser and Pasture Planner better. I think I like Miser ahead of Pasture Planner. Just there's a lot of, I expect there to be a lot of cards, a lot of resources in this game. So then building lots of rooms is usually a pretty good strategy. This pick, I could go a couple different ways here. Fencer, I always like Fencer. I always think it's pretty interesting, especially because there's so many cards that reward holding animals early. Like I think about Visionary, and if I could get Fencer out before Visionary makes their fences to hold the boar, for example. Alternatively, Braidmaker's okay. Braidmaker's okay, and I do save stuff with the Miser, but I think the pick that I like here think the pick here that I'm interested in is Animal Buyer. Yeah, I think Animal Buyer. So if I set up Baker's Servant, get a reasonable grain engine, baking a bunch of food, fencing it towards the end of the game, using my Animal Buyer to get pairs of animals. Yeah, I think this is the way we're going. So maybe, yeah, 4-room house, maybe 5-room house, Baker's Servant for 4 or 5 fields, and then maybe fencing 13, getting pairs of animals with Animal Buyer, something along those lines. Really, we're hoping for our miners to give us a way of getting grain. We're looking for a granary, we're looking for a grain cart, we're looking for anything. Popcorn would be okay. It's not the best, but it's okay. So it looks like we're just kind of... Domba's got a couple piles on him. So let's see what comes back out of this pile. I will be very interested to know. I guess it's theoretically possible that if... Yeah, Plow Driver did not come back. Okay, I wondered if Plow Driver had a chance to come back. So I see Milking Hand, I see Part-Time Builder. So I really like Part-Time Builder. I think it's a really good card. I think, though, with Animal Buyer in hand, I want to take Milking Hand because then I'm just like really sure that I want to be buying 2 cattle in round 13. Yeah, for some nice points. I do think Part-Time Builder is really good, and one of the reasons it's so good is it lets you hold animals earlier in the game. I think, though, with my Baker's Servant, if I can make that work, that'll be a bit better. Milking Hand is a very good card. Maybe even with Animal Buyer, maybe there's even a line where I do like Miser, 1 room plus 2 stables, Animal Buy, cattle really early and get a Milking Hand game going kind of early for 2 food per harvest. But it would require a lot of food, but maybe something like that could work. I could take Mastermind here. I already have Milking Hand and Cloister Dweller, and it gives miners like clogs. It makes those extra good. Now, a card like Hill Cultivator would actually be pretty good for my game because I could plan on building clay rooms, and so then taking clay a couple times would be fine, or taking grain a couple times would be fine. But it's for me, it's between Hill Cultivator and Mastermind. I think I'm leaning a little bit towards I'm leaning a little more away from the Baker's Servant. So I think the Mastermind is where we want to go here. Because Mastermind, depending on our miners, could have a really high payoff. It could be like a 5 or 6 point card, which that plus Cloister Dweller for a couple points plus Milking Hand for a couple points could lead to a very strong game. Even without a card like Baker's Servant. Baker Servant needs the correct support, and I'm not sure that I've seen the support for it yet. What if this draft has been especially difficult? Because it seems like it's taken a little longer than normal. Anyways, I hope probably most people who are watching this on YouTube will be seeing this closer to the 25th. So Merry Christmas if you're celebrating, and Happy Holidays. Brushmaker. Brushmaker and Animal Buyer are kind of interesting because I can buy boar and then immediately eat them just to load up the Brushmaker. Not to mention it's a card that works with Mastermind, and I wasn't even planning on that. So that actually worked extremely well. Oh, wow. We've got some interesting choices here. Swan Lake is excellent. Free 2 points. Absinthe is excellent. Then we've got Mansion, which works with our Mastermind. I don't think I'm likely to pull off a Mansion game here. Grotto is going to be really good to whoever took Plow Driver and maybe Lady in Waiting and all those cards. Like, Grotto is going to be really good for someone. Winter Pond is excellent. What should I take here? I don't think I'm going to have enough resources to pull off Grotto. I think to pull off Mansion. If I play Mansion, it'll probably have been at the expense of getting a good milking hand. So I think I probably won't take Mansion. I think I will take Swan Lake. Yeah. I like Absinthe too, but Swan Lake is almost better, strictly better. Certainly the 3 occupations versus 4 matter. But I mean, I don't mind playing a couple occupations early. Ooh. Well, Broom is very interesting to me because of it's just a good card, and it'll fetch me more cards for my Mastermind. But I think instead of Broom, I'm looking at Hammock or Downsizing. I think probably Downsizing, because with Downsizing plus Miser, it should be fairly easy for me to go up to. I built Miser build up to 4 wood rooms, then downsize. And Downsizing will help me to it'll let me grow a lot, but then still get bonus points from my Cloister Dweller. I think that looks pretty good. Well, Turnip Field is fantastic, and yeah, it's just really fantastic. I'm surprised to see it here. 3rd pick. This pack must have been pretty good. Black Swan Lake is also really good. Black Swan Lake is like 5 something. The power on Black Swan Lake is amazing. How do I pass Turnip Field, though? Especially because I know that there are some great cards out there. Oh, man. think I have to take turnip field. Even though I might not get the most out of turnip field, I think I can't pass it. Black Swan Lake, I know the power is incredibly high, but it doesn't have that same ceiling, that same ridiculous ceiling. Okay, Backyard Well doesn't work super well with Cloister Dweller because wherever the well goes just doesn't work. And especially if I'm going to downsize to 3 rooms, if Cloister Dweller can hit 3 and then 3 fields and then maybe 15 spaces, or fence 15 on the big, like 3x3, then I could do 3 fields plus turnip field. Should be plenty to get a good amount of crop points. So Backyard Well doesn't really fit into that. Village School is awesome. Village School is really awesome, but I think it just doesn't quite work in my hand because I want to play all my cards. A card like Farm School will let me play all of my cards. Like I can play like Miser and Mastermind normally and then play all of my remaining occupations with Farm School. And I think that's probably what we're going to do. Yeah. Cookpot is fine too, but Cookpot is not as good as Backyard Well. I don't think. Well, yeah, Backyard Well gives 2 extra points because it occupies a space, but 1 fewer point because of Cloister Dweller. So maybe this is a scenario where Cookpot is actually as good as this Backyard Well. Although Backyard Well does still give 2 to 1. And one thing that's important to note is like, why is a Swan Lake so much better than like Duck Pond? Well, it's actually maybe even debatable whether Swan Lake is better than Duck Pond because Duck Pond comes out earlier and it just like works super well with a lot of games. But the impact of, since you have a limited number of actions, being able to play the card with the higher impact gets you the better action that's relevant. So I'm kind of scared to pass Mansion again, especially with downsizing. Mansion's going to be at most 6 points, and 6 points, even 7 with Mastermind, is not worth all these resources. Much better to spend, 1 wood, 3 stone to just get the well for almost half as many points. Yeah, I think we take. We could take Shepherd's Crock, or we could take Mountain Cave. I think it's between those two. Mountain Cave is a food for a point. Shepherd's Crock is a wood for 2 sheep. Take Mountain Cave. Not sure if this is the way I want to go or not. Shepherd's Crock might actually be pretty relevant because with Animal Buyer, Brushmaker, Milking Hand, I want a Cooking Hearth anyways. So getting a breeding sheep could be like getting even the sheep for just 4 food to buy better stuff with Milking Hand. You know what? Mountain Cave is just a point straight up. Points are good. All my cards are very high impact. Even if I don't end up playing Baker's Servant, which I think I probably won't. But the plan is, generally speaking, go for an early growth with Miser. Once I've grown, set up probably a farm school play. And then I can use, so the great thing about farm school is I can take grain, take vegetable, plow, and then play turnip field. There's my two harvested goods right there. Yeah, I will have to take grain, take vegetable, but I save on the sow with turnip field. So maybe Turnip Field Farm School could be like start player family growth on my second family growth, the one where I'm using my 4th person. Here's a question. Is wild game converting boar to food? I would actually say no, because wild game is a minor improvement with a cost of one boar that just happens to give you 5 food. It's not a direct conversion. So I don't think it works with Brushmaker. Although I can like buy it when I don't have a cooking hearth. Like if I animal buy 2 boar, then wild game can do my first boar conversion before I get another one. Then there is hammock, which is kind of interesting. I think we could probably take hammock. I have a feeling that hammock is just going to be too late. If I am able to grow with hammock, either stuff is going really well or my fencing is just going to be way too late. But I do get the sheep relatively easy with animal buyer, which I want to play anyways, so maybe that's fine. And then we got flower pots, which is awesome. This card is great. I'm surprised to see it came around. Yeah, I have a couple cards to play early, downsizing, flower pots, mountain cave. Wild breeding is good too, and actually wild breeding to get a sheep would be fine. Potato dibber would be fine, but flower pots is better than those two, I think. Alright, let's see if we can make this work. Gonna depend on how the game goes, of course. But this is not one where I want to play a ton of occupations early. I'm happy going to 5 before downsizing is kind of amazing. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah. Montu says you could fence 8 along the right side of your farm early and then downsize the rest for your remaining 7. Yeah, I could do that. Yeah. Usually, though, you only want to do one fence action if you can, but we will see. We will see. I got lots of time. So let's say if I play 2 occupations, let's say I don't play baker's servant and I play 2 occupations, then my farm school needs to be in effect starting in round 9. And what would I want to do? I'd probably want to play. Let's say I play Miser Mastermind, then Farm School could play Animal Buyer or Brushmaker, and then this plays the other, and then this is Milking Hand, and then this is Cloister Dweller. Yeah, that would be pretty good. And if I can pull off the Baker Servant as well, that would be even better. And if I am sowing an early grain, relatively early, round 8's relatively early, then maybe Baker Servant is worth like 2 plows, which would be fine. Yeah, we'll see. If I have lots of actions, then Baker's Servant becomes better because it's better to take raw grain when you have lots of moves. Alright. Good luck to all. So there's self-employee for ostricheng. So I wonder if he took like Animal Pen or something. Because that pack that he passed me, he had Turnip Field. So it might have taken something like Animal Pen, first pick. So we'll start with Reedstone Food. Fantastic action. And then second action, 2 clay. The 2 clay either gets us the first fireplace with sheep coming in round 1, or it gets us our flower pots. Either way, we're happy. There's self-employee. All it does is it gets your occupations. It lets you play miners that require more occupations faster. Tomba plays Circus Manager. Good card. That's their first pick, right? I didn't pass them. Yeah, I didn't pass it to him. So, first pick Circus Manager. So then what would he have taken second, seeing what I passed him? Probably Lady in Waiting. Maybe Grain Seller. Ooh, and then we have Master Cook here. Well, Master Cook was the 3rd best card out of that pack, so that means Donba had the other card I was debating with, and honestly, I don't remember which they are at this point. Whoops, not split, just take. There is Visionary out there. There is Lady in Waiting. There's Plow Driver. I think Visionary, Lady in Waiting, Plow Driver, they're all telling me we're not going to compete with you if you try to family growth 3 times. So I'm going to try to family growth 3 times. That's my plan. Yeah, if I could do it before downsizing, like if I can pull it off with Hammock, it would be really good, for sure. So Damba took Pasture Planner. Pasture Planner was in my second pack. Or which pack was it in? Was it with Miser? Or was it with Baker's Servant? Or was it with Milking Hand? I don't remember. Whoa, that's cool. So that's obviously he's setting up for Shepherd's Crock. So this is the way you get 8 wood out of it. So he only needs to pay 7, and he gets 4 sheep when he does so. Looks good. Ostricheng plows instead of taking 2 wood. Interesting. Interesting. Wonder if he first picked Field Doctor or something like that. Master Cook with Field Doctor seems pretty good as well, because you just want to get on 2 food and plow. What's Mercator doing? Start player ladder. Okay. So maybe taking 4 wood here. Major Miner came out, so I will second action build the 2 clay fireplace, and I get 4 wood here. What a start! What a start. This is really good. I'm in an excellent spot so far. And I get at least 3 sheep with my first action. I don't have to worry about Damba unless he took Mini Pasture, but Mini Pasture would not be good with his plowing setup or his fencing setup. So even if Damba first action takes 3 wood, second action build fences somehow, like with a miner or something, I still don't have to worry because I can still take 3 sheep ahead of him. So just need to make sure that I get that first sheep grab, and I will be very happy. Looks like he's swearing. Or wanting to swear but then trying to like hold it in. Mercator plays. Friendly worker. Sure. That card's really weak though. This is a really good spot. Really good spot to be in. One downside is if I do want to play flower pots, I do need to take clay again. But I have all the wood and reed that I need for my first room. I just have to play Miser. I have plenty of food. So I'm going to like taking, if 6 clays available in round 4, I take that all day. Oh, this is fun. Yeah, I like this card. I think this card is undervalued. I think it can do some really cool stuff. Especially with a card like Master Cook or Self-Employee, where you want to push out your miners as quickly as you can, or you assume you have good miners that you want to push out. But Bargain Hunter with Circus Manager means Donba is essentially paying himself for those for that stuff. Ostricheng plays Kelp Gatherer. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with giving him vegetables. There weren't really any vegetable payoff cards, were there? Not that I saw. Doesn't mean he doesn't have some, but I didn't see any. Alright, he did take Grotto. Okay. And he's going to get 6 wood, which is pretty good. Playing Grotto with Master Cook into a 6 wood action. That looks pretty good. But I don't think Ostricheng has Plow Driver. Because if he had Plow Driver, I don't think he'd be plowing manually. So I think Mercator probably took Plow Driver. So Mercator might just have thought Plow Driver was the best card remaining in that pack. Okay, I could read Stone Food. Yeah, read Stone Food is a good action. There's absolutely no rush for me to play my Miser. Donba plays Absinthe with his Bargain Hunter. Okay, cool. Be a little sad if he does a lot of start player actions to get that Absinthe food, but he might just dump it on traveling players and bank on the fact that none of us really want to go on it. Like he could alternate paying with Bargain Hunter and then putting with Absinthe, and then going there for 2 food and playing an Occupation. So I just need to make sure that I get that sheep grab. So did I pass Donba any miners that let him steal the sheep? I don't think so. Maybe Stable is the only thing I can think of. But I didn't pass Simple Fireplace. I didn't pass Pen Builder. I didn't pass anything like that. So Ostricheng is doing start player here, it looks like. So he's going to have pretty nice passive crop income. This is an extremely early country silo. Normally you don't see it this early. But it means Ostricheng will have some nice passive grain income, crop income generally. Mercator plays Engineering Apprentice. Okay, so Mercator could take the sheep. He could take the 2 sheep just to be irritating, but why? Why would you take the 2 sheep? Is there a particular reason? Not that I can see. Donba could take wood here to be able to build a room, but Donba also needs food. I think I like taking the 4 clay here, and then I can take sheep and play Miser next round and then build in round 5. I think that looks fine. I could, instead have played Miser there and then taken 4 sheep and built next round. Maybe that's a better play. I don't know, I'm kind of afraid about being forced, since I'm going to be forced to first action build, or first action take sheep, I think. That's what I'm kind of afraid of, that I could get jumped on build a room. So if I'm going to get jumped on build a room, then I can play Miser with my second move. So Donba does play Lady in Waiting. Yeah, Donba got some nice cards. I passed him some good stuff. The absinthe does go on traveling players. Interesting. Maybe I didn't need that Reedstone Food action in round 3. I don't know, but Reedstone Food is such a good move. So this is kind of greedy. But if Mercator didn't take it the first time, I think I can gamble that he's not going to take it the second time. So we're going to go ahead and play an yeah, we're going to go ahead and play an occupation here for free. And I'm pretty sure that 4 sheep is going to come back. The only person who might take it is Mercator, and if he does, it means he's not building a room. And he would just take 2 sheep to have 2 sheep. He's not close to being able to eat them. He's not able to breed them. Yeah, he could easily get 2 sheep in round 6 if he wants. Ostricheng, I guess, could have swept the sheep, but I think it's a pretty bad move for him because he needs food. Yeah, he does need a lot of food here. Yeah, Mercator builds a room. So we're happy. We're happy being seated after Mercator, who is the first to build a room. So 2 of the sheep go towards feeding 4, and 1 goes into my house, and 1 gets eaten for food. Damba does have Shepherd's Crock as predicted. Looks like he's setting up to do a 6 wood grab next round, potentially. I wonder if Ostricheng wants wood or not. Ostricheng might plow, might take 2 reed, might take 3 wood. All of those are possibilities. He takes 4 clay. All right. Interesting. Wants to build a cooking hearth, maybe? Yeah. Donba gets a really nice 6 wood action now. I guess Ostricheng gets a clay this way, which he can bake or sew. Probably bake, because he needs the food for his grotto. So I'd be interested to see if Damba fences here. Damba could fence 14 for 6 wood with his pasture planter wood if he wants to get sheep breeding really quick. And in fact, I think I don't need to build a room first action because I think I can gamble that Donba might do that fencing. Mercator might family growth here. Mercator might let me jump him if I try to, because he does have friendly worker. Takes the clay. I don't really need 3 reed. I don't really need reedstone food. I could play an occupation. Could take grain here. Um, yeah, this is kind of. You know what? I'll build a room here. I don't need to take grain. No one else is going to take grain with their first move. And there is a chance that Damba decides to build a room with that action, so I think this is fine. And then my second action can be Occupation Mastermind or take grain. The other thing to notice with Mastermind, I like cards like Pottery a bit better, Basket Maker's Workshop. Joinery is usually still too expensive to be worth it, but Pottery and Basket Maker's Workshop usually still good. So maybe I could take 3 reed, and then think about building the Basket Maker's Workshop. I do have 2 stone already. I haven't really thought about what I want to use that stone for. Just kind of thought the well might be good, but maybe Basket Maker's Workshop's the way to go. The only issue is I do still need to play the Mastermind. And I want to play my flower pots as well, so yeah. I am happy I have 3 miners here that I can play. Donba plays Stockbroker. Alright, so he's going to set up cattle breeding because he can fence next round with his first move, second action, take 2 sheep, leave 2 sheep behind, get 2 cattle. Ostricheng builds a cooking herd. Makes sense. Needs a way to eat his kelp gatherer food. I thought with Grotto you should go for clay oven with country silo, but cooking hearth, I guess there's sheep. Sheep came in round 1, so. Thing is, 3 wood is going to get taken more often than fishing will be, so. I would have done clay oven, but that's just me. Mercator's playing Cheapskate instead of going on start player. So that's the friendly worker talking, where the friendly worker says, I don't need to start player. I can grow whenever. And then he's going to play Merchant. Whoa! Merchant is pretty bad. I wonder if Broom came all the way back to him. Then he plays Muddy Waters. This is nice. Muddy Waters out in round 5. It's pretty early. So I could start player here. I think I will. Mercator will first action. Mercator would absolutely first action family growth, just because then he would not have to day labor family growth. So I think me sitting on start player. If family growth is round 7, I regret this a little bit, but if it's round 6, I think this is fine. It'll get me to grow 1 round earlier. It is family growth. Where's the absinthe going? On build a room. Makes a ton of sense. So I'm going to family growth, and I will play downsizing here. I don't really need to play Mountain Cave. Mountain Cave doesn't really do anything for me for a long time, so... So downsizing for me, and then Black Swan Lake for Damba. Yeah, really good card. And he's got 5 plate occupations already. Yeah, good. And he's going to get to grow the second round that Family Growth comes out in round 7. Very good. Now, I'm going to get some good moves next round for sure. I'm quite happy with the situation I'm in. I'm looking at, well, yeah, I'm looking at 3 sheep. Although I have a feeling ostricheng will master cook and then take 2 sheep with his last action, which is fine. I have 8 food available for myself. So now what I really want to do is I want to set up my farm school. So that means I need to play Mastermind. I need to plow a field. I need to take grain. And then turnip field. Oh, you know what? I need 2 occupations to play turnip field. Maybe I should play Baker's Servant then. So 4 wood came back. Also 4 reed. 4 wood is another room. With Miser, how do I not take another room right away? Like now I'm immediately pressuring the build room action. Like I can build room round 7, Family Growth round 8. And yeah, that's pretty good. And I could actually play Hammock if I don't eat my sheep. And take wood again. Yikes. Yikes! So I should look at getting a lot of food next round, because the food will be a lot tighter in round 9. So like 4 food fishing would be a pretty good action for me, because it becomes 5 food thanks to the that card. Donba playing a part-time builder. This is another good card. There's a lot of good cards in this draft. A lot. Having a power filter on helps with that. Power filter 0.4 to 5.1. Yeah. That makes a difference. Mercator plays Driftwood. Okay, so yeah, Driftwood is really good. So that might have been in the same pile with Turnip Field. Yeah, there were a lot of good. Just the card quality in this game is extremely high. Extremely high, which is part of why you see so many played cards already. And then he's going to Winter Pond. So maybe Merchant is a bit more playable when you have cards like Winter Pond and Driftwood in your hand. Those are pretty high impact cards. So Ostricheng is going to start player to get 6 wood. And he did take the 2 sheep. I figured that was going to happen. But yeah, it's really it looks like I'm going to get round 8 Family Growth, which is kind of gross. It's kind of gross. And I get 6 wood here. Yikes. Any bargain hunter? 6 wood. And second action definitely will take the 4 food fishing. But yeah, can't pass on 6 wood. There's 3 stone available. There's 5 reed. Like 5 reed does pay for the Basket Maker's Workshop on its own. So I should probably take that 5 reed if I can. And you know what? I want reed for farm school anyways. So 5 reed is 2 Basket Maker's Workshop procs plus farm school. Yeah, seems good. Seems really good. Mercator keeps going for his master cook. That's fine. I mean, it's good for us, honestly. Mercator maybe 3 stone here. Yeah. So we will happily take the 5 reed. So I'd probably build a room with my last action, right? It does give Damba his second stable, which Damba would like that so that he could take like 2 sheep in the next round, for example. I think probably taking the fishing is the way to go. Although Mercator might take it here. Mercator does have his winter pond coming in. So there might be some other play that he has in mind. Like he might build the pottery, for example. Yeah, I don't see why not. Oh. Yeah, I think Pasture Planner says you can't put the wood, you can't put the stable there. Yeah, because you can only use these wood. These spaces can only be used for pastures. Yeah. So what it means is that he puts his stable up here, and he can still do all his fencing now, at 7 wood to still get all of his stuff, and it just means he's capped at 1 fewer field, and he gets 1 less fence stable point. So it's like a 3-point difference, but it's not huge. Mercator builds the well. Wells in chat. Kind of surprised by that. We'll fish. Feed 6. Yeah, I'm going to be able to play my hammock on family growth and then grow again in round 9 if ostricheng doesn't start player. Oh, whoops, I never ended turn. Whoops. Yeah. Play ag well. Type that. Monty, you're not a subscriber though, so you don't have access to the well. Maruska, we talked about this yesterday. He did this thing where he watched enough to get enough channel points that he could get some free. He got some emotes for free. All right. Well, I get a vegetable. Abs. You know, sometimes it's okay to announce the absence before I wait and ask you. Did you unlock it? Oh, it might, capital W. You were right, except you have to put a capital W in there, Montu. On the 3 wood space, okay. I can take 4 wood. Yeah, there you go. Good job. I definitely want to get on Reno. Sorry, I definitely want to get on build a room and then family growth. So if I'm gonna do that, then I would family growth. Family growth plays probably farm school, and then I would start player hammock at some point. Because I'll need to start player hammock to grow ahead of Damba and ostricheng. How does part-time builder work? I think it's not optional. Damba screw himself over. Where'd all your wood go? Didn't Damba have a ton of wood? His cards are not interacting the way he wanted them to, I think. Alright, I could take wood here. I could do something else. This game is actually quite food tight, and I think it's pretty wood plentiful. I'm going to first action take 4 food. I guess I could have first action built the Basket Maker's Workshop, but it's not like anyone else is close to building it. What does part-time builder say? We can look at it. See what people have said. As written, it's not optional. Yeah, Manatites asked in 2015, and the response was you have to build it. All right, 4 wood, 1 read room. Where is that? And then Manatite says maybe we should change it. Doesn't look like it was changed after he asked that. Yeah, it looks like they argued a bunch. Super G and Manatites had quite the discussion about it. I bet they played a game where it came up and they argued about it. Domba saying we'll end on like 29 points. Rip my game. Yeah, obviously it's bad for Domba. Ooh, petting zoo. I would have really liked to have gotten that card with my animal buyer and mastermind. I would have really liked to have seen that card. So we're gonna fan the growth and play hammock. All right. Ostricheng plays Pastor. So where did that plow driver end up? Where is the plow driver? So we had Hill Cultivator for Domba, and then Ostricheng plays Pastor. So we're being nice. Mercator and I are saying that Damba can pretend he didn't play the card. And Mercator plays Hasty Trader. Yeah, this card is fine, but it can be kind of a crutch, which I'm not a big fan of. Like, Stone and Reed can be very useful, and this card says, hey, get rid of all your Stone and Reed. Ooh, ostricheng has got Broom. This is a card with very high potential. It is a big negative, yes, it is. But we're being nice, so don't complain too much, okay? Here's Cornucopia for ostricheng. Good card. Yeah, 3 food per harvest if he pays vegetable. Yep. That's a good pull for him, because that card is useless for a lot of other players, but it's good in particular for ostricheng. So all family growth in round 10. So I probably want to have Farm School ready to go, so that I can play Farm School there. And then I'll start player Turnip Field maybe in round 11, or Reno Turnip Field in round 11, something like that. To do my fence 15, I want to hit 8 wood, and I want to play Farm School, so I need another 4 wood at least. What do I want to do here? Do I want to first action build the Basket Maker's Workshop? Or do I want to play... Oh, no, I want to play Mastermind before I build Basket Maker's Workshop. Of course, I almost forgot about that. I have more actions than everyone else. I could expensive action, but you know what? I have other stuff I wouldn't mind doing. So let's just play Mastermind here. Yeah, so all the food from the Swan Lake is going to come pretty late, and I'm not going to get all of it. So this is an example where Duck Pond can be better than Swan Lake, because you play Duck Pond on, start play around 5, and the fact that it helps you in that next harvest is a big plus. So Ostricheng goes on vegetable, gets 3 clay. So probably we're going to see him Reno and build the 3 clay fireplace. Would be my assumption. Ostricheng is just building the stone oven, not on Reno, I assume. Oh, he never took... Oh, he did take his stuff for his pastor. Yeah, I'm surprised he's not using his pastor here to do it, but whatever, that's fine. So for me, plow 1 field, take grain. Those are both actions I would like to do. Mercator gets a expensive cooking hearth. This has got to be on Reno. So there's the plow driver in Mercator's hand. And he can afford to plow drive here because he has Winter Pond. And actually, I don't know if he ever took Winter Pond last round. Did he announce it? He might have announced it with his feeding. Plus F in harvest. Who said that? That was Mercator. So yeah, he's already used this food, so we can remove that. Plow? 3 wood, grain is pretty bad. Maybe I could take 2 reed to guarantee myself the Basket Maker's Workshop, but don't think I need to do that. I think we can just plow a field, and that's fine. Pretty sure Donba is not going for the Basket Maker's Workshop, and nobody else is even close. There is that occupation that lets you get the Basket Maker's Workshop out there. There is that card. So he could, with his last action, play it and then Bargain Hunter at the start of round 10 to build the Basket Maker's Workshop. Oh, Mercator's also got Silo Girl. Okay, so there's part of the impetus for the early Plow Driver, or for taking Plow Driver. Not super early, but probably 4th. Silo Girl's another excellent reason to go for a Stone House. So Mercator's looking not bad, although doesn't have enough wood and needs a ton of fields, but Plow Driver, of course, is going to ameliorate that. So really just needs to start taking stuff now. Yeah. If Donba does build the Basket Maker's Workshop, I'll be kind of sad about that. But I think it's not the end of the world. Let's start player here. We can play Farm School. And then I can get 6 wood, or I can get the Basket Maker's Workshop with my first move, both of which are pretty good. Here's my Farm School. So I'm going to need a lot of food. And the fact that I didn't get a cooking hearth is kind of a problem. Oh, Donba goes on fish. Good, good, good. So yeah, that means I get Basket Maker's Workshop, which is very good for me. So we're actually going to take 3 wood because I'm going to first action build the Basket Maker's Workshop. I think that's the situation I'm in. Like, I have to get it. If I don't get it, it's devastating. 3 wood. And then feed 6. No, feed 8. How many actions do I have? Do I have 4 actions? Oh, I do have 4 actions. Whoa. I almost totally miscounted there. I thought I had not family growth again, but obviously I did. Whoops. Let's get this out of the way. Because losing out on it would be just too... It would be game losing for me to not get that into play. And then I can take one of the 3 wood actions. Yeah, I don't think I need Baker's Servant. It seems like Plow should be pretty easy to get on. Donba's got a pretty hard cap on the number of fields he can make. Ostricheng just got 3 fields plowed already. Mercator's going to play Plow Driver, so it doesn't need to ever go on plow 1 field. So the Plow 1 field space should be pretty easy for me to get on. Yeah, Mercator's not in a bad spot. He does need a lot of wood. I think I just take wood here, right? I could take 6 clay and go for the pottery, but I think Donba might go for the pottery as well. Although Donba does need a fireplace, doesn't he? What am I going to do on family growth? I want to play Turnip Field on family growth, don't I? But to do that I need food, and I don't have any food. So I could play Mountain Cave, but I also need food to play Mountain Cave. So I need a whole bunch of food. is the what we're seeing here is that I need a whole bunch of food. You know what? Maybe I just go for a clay oven. Take reedstone food here, and then think about taking grain and then building the clay oven next round. Not the most efficient, but it'll do. Yeah, my farm school is getting out later than I expected it to, but Damba plowing and taking clay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Damba's going to want the basket or the pottery with his hill cultivator in hand. It makes a lot of sense. Ostricheng playing Night Bazaar. Okay, probably reed and wood maybe. Reed because it lets him reno. Yeah. Yep. Ostricheng doing start player and taking the wood from the 3 wood space. Makes it very likely that he's going to get a 5 wood action next round, which is pretty good. Mercator plays plow driver. No surprise there. Do I need to take 2 sheep for 4 food? I think I do. I need to take 1 sheep for 2 food. 1 sheep and 2 food at the very least. So if I family growth again, I'm gonna need 12 food to play my farm school or to activate my farm school and feed 10, which is a lot. That's a lot of food. So I pretty much need to hit I think I need to hit clay oven for that to be feasible. If the thing is, if I have 5 actions per round, I don't really need to play farms. I don't need to use the farm school. I can just build normally. But the problem is playing an occupation normally is only 1 fewer food. So I mean, I can day labor, and I'd still rather activate farm school compared to just playing an occupation normally. But I would need to get on grain, of course, to play plow driver or to play clay oven. But if I do, then I think I'm looking pretty good. Although it would mean I would need to continuously go back to the 1 clay space. Completed a new achievement. The Empire business. Stream for 250 hours total. Cool. I think I have family growth here. Do I play Mountain Cave? Even if I'm not going to use it, 1 food for 1 point is a pretty good conversion here. It is making this next harvest more difficult, but I think it's probably going to be okay. Even if I have to use 2 actions for 3 food, like 3 food traveling players, 3 food fishing, I still have 3 actions. That still leaves me 3 actions to develop my farm. So Did someone take 2 wood? Ostricheng might have. Took 2 wood on the 3 wood space. I'm surprised by that. Yeah, ostricheng might have done it himself. I still wonder if he has Field Doctor. And decided to go for the Grotto into Field Doctor play, which I tried that the other day, didn't I? And it did not. I mean, it went about as well as his is going. Although his is going better because of Master Cook, almost entirely because of Master Cook. Mercator, farm stable, and spices. Sure. Couple food and a point. So I do need food. None of the food actions are great though. So I think I just take a grain. Grain also gives me the option of playing turnip field even if I don't get the clay oven. Because I could do grain, vegetable, occupation, turnip field. Or, yeah, I have some options. Put it that way. I have some options. Tomo gets a bunch of clay. What if he has something to use all that extra clay with? Maybe build a room? Yeah, that's probably what I would look at here. Take three reed, build 2 rooms, go for a 5-room stone house. Yeah, that would be pretty good. Ostricheng is baking and sewing. Oh, so Ostricheng has that card. What's that card name? Grain seller? Probably. Okay, so how much food do I have right now? So I could play an occupation and then turnip field. So if I do that, then a whole bunch of stuff happens. Very descriptive of me. This is a little greedy because I have more of a chance now to get blocked. But if I do get blocked, I still have the opportunity to maybe play a couple. I could still traveling players fishing for 3 food on each action, and then I still have my reed. So unlikely all of those are getting blocked, and I do still have 3 actions remaining. So I don't need much more food. Oh, Donba building the fireplace. Okay, I could fence and then reno and play turnip field, but then the turnip field is not actually getting me any food. Although I do have the sheep still. So 1 food, the sheep is 3 food, the reed is 6 food. And then I could eat vegetable that I harvest off of the turnip field. Let me think about this. Oh, fencing's gone. Okay, so reno to play turnip field is no longer an option. We're just gonna start taking food now, it looks like. Just need raw food. Yeah, going up to 5 family members, needing to feed 10. Feeding's got to be better than mine is. I should have prioritized the cooking hearth upgrade a little higher. That was a mistake on my part, I think. Let's fish here. Fish is better than boar, I think. Fish. And then What else am I going to do? Take clay. Yeah, if I'm guaranteed to go for the clay oven, then taking clay is good. If I'm not going to go for the clay oven for sure, then taking clay is not good. Like, will I first action build the clay oven? I think that's pretty much what I need to do. Because if I don't, Donba might. Although, Donba, not, yeah. He's got food. Yeah, no, Donba won't build the clay oven, I don't think. And ostricheng has no stone. Okay, I think we can take the 3 clay here. I could also just take 3 wood. 3 wood will let me do all my fencing next round. And then once I've done my fencing, I can reno in clay oven instead. But I still need to take clay if I'm going to reno clay oven. Alright. So, 7 food and a reed. There's family growth, so pretty sure mercator is taking family growth, which means I get 6 wood. And the wood is enough for fencing. I could actually build the joinery. I do need the food, don't I? You know what? I didn't announce the wood stone conversion before. I'm gonna stone oven either way, or clay oven either way, so yeah, I won't. That'd kind of be cheating. That would kind of be cheating. Yeah, just take the wood. So I do have a ton of actions. Of course, I need to dedicate a bunch of actions to food because of my big family. But I'm going to have a lot of points. Like, almost all my miners are worth a point. Only downsizing is not. I'm going to have a five-member family, which is nice and big. Yeah, ostricheng is going to have a really good game when he plays his grain cellar. He's going to have a nice grain cellar game. Donba playing amusement park. Sure. I don't love him announcing it after he's already decided not to take start player himself, because of course he might be holding it to see if he gets start player, because he might rather play amusement park on start player if he's going to, but it's unlikely. Plows are fine for him, so not too much of a difference, I don't think. So I think I'm probably going to take grain every round for the rest of the game. If I don't, I'm probably not going to end up with any grain points. Alright, ostricheng, what are you doing? Let's go. Wow, first action bake. Interesting. Interesting. I'll do my fencing here because there's a bunch of animals available. Now with Baker's Servant, I could theoretically downsize, so I need to pay, downsizing gets me 7 wood, right? Yeah, so I need to pay 8 wood, so I'm left with 4 wood. So what I could do is I could fence smaller and do more than 3 fields, but I think with my cloister dweller, just 3 fields is enough. I don't need to push it. I'm gonna have plenty of actions to get points from other stuff. I'm not gonna be capped on fields. Oh, Donba takes grain. That's really annoying. I could still reno clay oven here. I probably will. But I want to play my miners. Or I have 3 occupations left that I want to play. Brushmaker is questionable, but certainly Milking Hand, Cloister Dweller I want to play. Milking Hand will be worth... It should be at least food neutral, because I should be able to pick up two cattle here. Domba likes the cattle, but I think he would like Plow Sow more. Ostricheng has Grain Cellar, doesn't need the cattle. He would prefer to get Family Growth even without room. So Mercator is the person who might take the two cattle. Ostricheng start player Bread Machine. Nice. Should I take 2 boar here? I could also take 1 cattle. Taking 1 cattle is a serious option here. I think I'll take the 2 boar. My clay oven is relatively safe. And if I don't want to build clay oven, I take Reedstone Food and then Reno Joinery. Yeah. Domba took stone. So might look to Reno clay oven now. But, I mean, if I were him, I would probably have built 2 more rooms, but that's just me. There's the grain cellar. We saw that coming. So let's get the clay oven. And since we bake, we activate our baker servant. Sure, looks good. And then joinery is still good for us. The joinery is still actually quite good because with our baker servant, it's 4 food plus an extra point with mastermind. Those are all going to be relevant actions for me. Last action, probably take vegetable so that I can actually sow 2 goods with turnip field, assuming that I start player turnip field next round. Assuming 2 cattle come to me. I think they would. Certainly Ostricheng, I think Ostricheng will family growth. He doesn't need plow sow. He only needs 1 more field, and he doesn't need to sow because he's got like max crop points already. So, yeah, unless he's going to sow, I guess he wants to turn all of his grain into stuff. So he might plow sow, and if he plow sows, then Mercator might take the 2 cattle. That's possible. But if I can get the 2 cattle and then play Milking Hand, I'm going to feel pretty good about the situation that I'm in. Oh, Domba takes stone again. All right. Well, I could still go for the joinery if I turn a wood into a stone with Mountain Cave. So let's grab another vegetable here. That reed should be safe. I should be able to grab 6 reed in round 14. Eat 1 of them and then keep another 5 for 3 points. Domba's playing Cookpot. Yeah. Lots of stuff. Lots of stuff. Right, because it never got added. Yep, makes sense. Yeah, my opponents are having really good games. And that's the fact that my game is not going perfectly might be enough that I don't come out ahead. Because, yeah, my game's not going perfectly, to put it mildly. So, best case scenario, I get to take grain and then start player turnip field. That's the absolute best case scenario here. Pretty sure ostricheng will skip and bake here. Maybe. That's probably what I would do. Maybe he doesn't need to skip and bake. Maybe. Yeah, hard to say what ostricheng will do. The one consolation prize is his score is capped very low. Even if he hits like max crops, max animals, well, he can't hit max animals. There's no way. He just doesn't have space for that many. Max he can do is 5 boar, 6 cattle, 1 sheep. So he's gonna plow 1 field. All right. Mercator is going to do start player here, start player Night Bazaar. So if I want to play turnip field, it has to be on major minor, which is not as good, but still fine. So Night Bazaar goes into my hand. I can put 2 food there to help fix the board. And I think we just take a grain. Taking a grain seems fine. Yep. And then I can major minor turnip field. Oh! Just kidding. Donba's doing major minor. Okay, so that means I don't get to activate my farm school, which means I have to play that card normally, which sucks. Ostricheng has veggie lover. Ooh. Okay, there we go. There's the point ceiling card. Yeah, very nice. Nice game for Ostricheng. Yeah, Master Cook getting the grotto as late as he did was really good. Yeah, I no longer gain food from playing Milking Hand, which is kind of unfortunate. I think I need 3 food actions. Man, this is a rough game. Having to take 3 food here, it's pretty rough. Yeah, because I don't want to have to eat anything I have. And I get to 11 food right now. I can still pull it off though. Cloister Dweller, Milking Hand, I can totally still pull it off. Reedstone food into expensive occupation. Yep. Reasonable points from everything. I can still pull off a win. Now the Veggie Lover is going to be very scary. He's going to have a lot of bonus points from the Veggie Lover. How many can he get? 6 bonus points? Ooh, that's a lot. Reedstone food and then 2 food. I will play Milking Hand. Incrementing my Mastermind. Then Milk 1. R 8 food. Milk 1. R 6 food. Breed and breed. Pretty sure Mercator is going to plow sow. So yeah, my feeding's better now because I can eat. I'm gonna bake a grain. Yeah, I'm gonna probably first action sow my 2 vegetable, bake a grain to get my 3rd field. Yeah, I think that's probably what I do here. Should I convert a wood to a stone? Yes, I should. Go for the joinery. It's only giving up 1 point from a stable, worst case scenario, so bake, get a field, and then sow those 2. Bake first. So turnip field might go unplayed here, which is pretty sad. Do you still have Swan Lake? So I like Major Minor. I like Start Player. Yeah, Major Minor is a 3 points and 2 food. This is a bunch of food. Yeah, the fact that I had to bake there is pretty sad. Because it gives up 2 points. But it gets me 2 points, and it gets me another point with Cloister Dweller, which I might not get otherwise. Although, it's not like Plow and Field is super contested. I guess Damba likes Plow and Field. Yeah, I guess getting the bake is safe. It's safe. It's not great, but it's okay. Yeah, the fact that he's going to be able to Veggie Lover almost just stuff that he has excess of is quite nice. Yeah, ostricheng has constructed a very nice game. Very nice game. Now, he is still stuck on wood, so he'll probably Reno for 2 points, but... It's joinery. Get an extra point from our mastermind. So Swan Lake is worth 2 points. Brushmaker. Is Brushmaker worth points here? How many boar do I have to eat for Brushmaker to give me points? If I eat 2 boar, I get 1 point. So I eat 2 boar, I get a point from Mastermind, I get a point from Brushmaker. So I don't actually... I would only gain 1 point, but I would gain also 4 food, or 3 food because I pay 1 to play the Brushmaker. Okay. Chimney is not really relevant. Yeah, so Brushmaker, I would eat 2 boar. Then I would not eat reed. I'm gonna eat reed anyways, right? And milking hand generates food for me as well. So yeah, Brushmaker is probably not worth playing here. Better to do my 2-point Swan Lake. Or go for my 5 wood. That's worth 2 points. That wood's not points to anyone else. It's only points to me. So I'm pretty sure I can just play Swan Lake here. Swan Lake, 5 wood, and then take grain maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna have a nice score. I don't know if it's gonna be enough. Oh, take reed, of course. Swan Lake, take reed, 5 wood. Or grain. Yeah, 5 wood or grain should come back. No, Damba's taking wood. Okay. Oh, Damba can build stables, right? Weren't we so nice to Damba? If Damba wins, there's going to be a big asterisk beside it. But no, I don't think Damba's beating ostricheng. Ostricheng has a much higher point ceiling for kind of a similar farm. In terms of number of rooms, number of family members, everything. Damba's just like quite a bit better, actually, in a lot of ways. The advantage that Damba has is more family members. So this is a 3-point reed grab. And hopefully the 2-point grain comes back to me. And if it doesn't, 1 point brushmaker is fine. So yeah, this game is kind of just like a lot of lost potential, unfortunately. There's so much more that could have been done with these cards, with this hand. There's more that could have been done. Domba says, I think I know my last occupation. You don't say. Ugh. Oh, here's my Swan Lake. Yeah, ostricheng will have a very high scoring farm. I'm interested to see how this all turns out. I have a lot of points from my improvements. More points than he does. Like Grotto is not worth an improvement, Country Silo is not, Cornucopia is not, Chimney is not, although it does have Petting Zoo. Whereas all my improvements that I played are worth points. Plus I'm getting 4 points from Mastermind, plus 2 points from Milking Hand, plus 5 points from Cloister Dweller. Although I'm worse in grain, and I'm worse in animals, and I'm worse in pastures, and I'm worse in fields, so we'll see. It's going to be a close one. It's going to be a really close finish. R, milk 2, 7 food, 4 feed 10, and Ock. And I also had a wood here. Oh man, I needed this food needed this food earlier. There's my Cloister Dweller. Ostricheng only has 49? Wow. I'm at 49 without my bonus points. What? How is that right? That doesn't seem right. Yeah? Fields? Yeah? No negatives? Okay. Yeah, you know what? It's all the points I've got from my minor improvements. Wow. This is a 60 point farm. And it based entirely from points that I got myself here. Wow, 60 points. Well, and you know what's crazy? This game could have been even better. If I play Animal Buyer, I get my Milking Hand out faster. I can play Brushmaker. I did not play Turnip Field. Yeah, Milking Hand, really good. Yeah, Merry Christmas to you as well. So, 42, 49, 53, 60. My first pack was really nice. All right. Well, I managed to win, and I managed to win by quite a bit. Which you know what? This farm looks worse. This farm doesn't look great because it's a 3-room clay house. But I do have 4 points from vegetable. I do have 3 points from cattle. Mercator says plow driver 4th pick better than previous 3. That's funny. But yeah, Cloister Dweller for 5, Mastermind for 4, Milking Hand for 2 and some food. Yeah. pretty good. And then of course, my Basket Maker's Workshop at 5 points. And all these points from improvements, 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, 12, 14, 16 points from improvements. 60 points from improvements plus 15 points from my family. You know, that gets you a lot of the way there. And no negatives, so yeah, pretty good farm. I guess I underestimated how bad my feeding was in the second last and third last harvest. My feeding was quite bad, and I guess that made me think, oh, I'm not doing very well, when I was not really thinking about the fact that, hey, I have 5 family members. I can totally... How many 3 food actions did I do that game? I did a ton of 3 food actions, and it ended up being fine, because I just had actions to dump, and it was okay. I guess if you need to feed 10, and you have 10 actions in a harvest, before a harvest, even if you do 4 3 food actions, it still gives you 6 actions to improve your farm, and my farm was really good. I can't believe hammock and downsizing worked. Yeah. That was pretty crazy. When you hit a 60-point farm, it seems weird to look at the draft, but let's see. 337, 225. I was surprised to hear that Grain Seller is the best card out of my first pack. I think Montu said that. Yeah, 4.5. Huh. Now, it is drafted about half a position later than Lady in Waiting, but it does look like it's the best card, because it's not that much of a difference. Baker's Servant, best card by quite a bit, and it's a card that's undervalued. 3.7, drafted third. Yeah, definitely undervalued. So I took Miser here over Pasture Planner, Master Cook. I feel pretty vindicated for that pick. I know that pick was maybe not great, but I guess my miners supported the Miser pick. The fact that I got Downsizing was huge. Downsizing was so good with Cloister Dweller and Miser. The fact that I could build a 4th room and then still get the max points, that was huge. So I wonder if Braidmaker went undrafted. Because obviously nobody... I was afraid of Damba playing it to steal the Basket Maker's Workshop. And with Bargain Hunt... I guess it was in the same pile as Bargain Hunter. So Damba took Bargain Hunter ahead of Braidmaker, which is interesting. Milking Hand, power 4.1 with my 5th pick card. Yikes. There's another one that's probably undervalued. Power 3 picked around 3 with power 4. Definitely undervalued. Mastermind, yeah. The quality of my cards is just ridiculously high. So Swan Lake, highest power card here, which is good to see. 4.6. Yeah, 2 points from a miner, pretty good. Downsizing, yep. Amusement Park's power is higher, but it's drafted more than a position later, so Downsizing is still the stronger card. Turnip Field over Black Swan Lake. Yeah, I knew Black Swan Lake had a really high power. And Turnip Field did go unplayed, but it's not like I had any actions. I guess I could have played Black Swan Lake instead of Mountain Cave when I played Mountain Cave, but the Mountain Cave was actually useful for getting the joinery. Then Farm School. I think Farm School is really good. Like, it's really undervalued. Village School is also really good. Backyard Well is also good. I took Mountain Cave over Mansion. Hammock was really good. Yeah, so I think you look at my worst cards. My worst cards were like Brushmaker at 1.8, and then Hammock at 1.9. Then all the rest of my cards were above 2, and then I just got lots of actions to play all those cards. So they were all really good. So, all right, that's going to be all for me. I will stream... I think I'll stream on Thursday, the 26th. I'll stream probably at night is my plan. Yeah, and then I probably won't stream again for a couple days after that. But yeah, I'll do a game on Boxing Day, I think. I should have time in the evening, so. Um, Again, season's greetings for those of you who are still watching. Enjoy your holiday, Merry Christmas, and hope you guys have enjoyed this little video. I'll see you next time. Bye.